Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Magnus Mulliner is my name. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Question for you. Can you think within the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes of your life of a thought or perhaps behaviour or action that you suddenly created that you've never had before? Something new, something fresh? Probably not. This is as I understand it, and please do some homework on this. You're a robot, just like me. We have been programmed by our society, by our environment, and most of us are operating on the 95 to 99% of the day, just going through those motions that were given to us, provided, taught to us by our teachers, parents, pedagogical figureheads, etc. And the reason I want to share this recording with you is something that really landed for me. I think one of the best ways of sharing this is to tell you a story. How many of you have heard about the two monks that were out for a walk? Let me remind you this story. You've got these two Buddhist monks that are out for a walk, one being the master, the other being the disciple. And all of a sudden the heavens open and it absolutely chucks it down and they're getting wet and they're walking along on their merry way. When the teacher notices this other beautiful lady at the side of the road who, well, she obviously wants to cross the road, but it's very muddy, so he literally goes over in that direction, lifts her up, carries her across and puts her down. And they continue their journey. About 6 hours later, the young disciple suddenly has an outburst with his master and said, "I can't believe you touched that woman. We're not meant to touch women." As part of the vows that they have. And the wise master said, "I put that woman down 6 hours ago. What's my point?" The point is that many of us, through our thinking, you could label it as stinking thinking, something that occurred in the past, something that was given to us, a thought, by our parents and all the other people I mentioned, and we play it over and over in our minds and it festers there. But as I know it, whenever you have a thought that enters your head, most of which they reckon over 98% of your thoughts, beliefs, judgments, emotions, values, they're not even yours anyway, they're not even mine, we kind of then act on them. How about just observing them? Because as a robot, if you try and change the robot, that's going to provide you with a lot of challenges. Or even worse than that, you try and change another robot, in other words your partner, because the way you feel might not be good, and you feel that the person who's showing up in your life, it's their fault, so you may blame them, and you want to fix them or change them to behave as you want them to so that you feel good about yourself. How's that working for you? It hasn't worked for me, at least not yet. What's the definition of insanity again? So the point of this recording is just to become mindful about your thoughts. If you live with somebody and they've spent many hours, days, weeks, years with them, they're probably one of your greatest teachers, because they will teach you those things that you like, don't love about yourself. Just observe them and let it go. And like the monk story or the Buddhist story, if you are mindful of thoughts that you are having right now, which may be 5, 10, 15 minutes, years old, let them go. Because if you don't, firstly, you are putting more nails in your coffin because you are judging yourself or judging another, and then you're teaching that to your children. You've heard me say this before, it's not a genius formula. So what I'd like you to do is just to observe yourself, your thoughts, become the fly on the wall and let it go. And that way you can be more open, perhaps if you have the right programming going on up there, to more pleasurable moments. Because it's my understanding that we're here for two main reasons. One is to create many pleasurable moments, and two, to find out who the hell you are. Neither of which are a destination, they're both a journey. Now, if you are somebody out there who points fingers and blames people for how they behave because you buy into their stinking thinking environment, then you're not awake, you're asleep. And because most people are asleep, and this is the real challenge, they're not even aware that they're asleep because they're still pointing fingers, although 3 fingers point back, blaming others. However anyone else shows up is about them. What are they teaching you? What can you learn from them? How could you benefit from this situation, whether it is financially or not? By asking smarter questions. I suppose in a way that the crux of this recording is not to become a victim of your environment. As always, it's an invite. And please have fun. Don't take life too seriously, as I tell myself. So what could you do right now just to become that fly on the wall and just to observe your thoughts? Because if it's true, we have between, well, up to 68,000 thoughts a day. It's a lot of thoughts, a lot of stinking thinking. If it's true that up to 90% could be negative, although some of that is ancestral. It's all food for thought and thought for food. As always, have fun. My love to you all. Bye for now.